Hi there, Mindless Sanity 602 reporting to you at the Nightmare Central with day number 9 of my 31 days of my 4th annual 31 days of horror film reviews. And in day number 9, we're going to be talking about um, Hellraiser Inferno, which is a 2000 R-rated direct-to-video 99-minute crime horror mystery film from director Scott Derrickson. Now, Hellraiser Inferno, it's actually my favorite Hellraiser movie. I really enjoy Hellraiser Inferno. Now, most fans of the Hellraiser franchise already know that Hellraiser 5 Inferno is the first one, and the first one of this franchise that was a repurposed script for a Hellraiser movie. It was a repurposed script turned into a Hellraiser movie, and just to keep the rights to the Hellraiser name. And I, in all honesty, don't really have a problem with that, because I think what they did with the character here, I think what they did with the Hellraiser Pinhead character here, is actually, shall I say, a pretty fucking good move. I think because it fits in well with the Hellraiser character. I like that they made him more of like an ambiguous moral, moral crypt keeper of the Hellraiser franchise in these sequels, where we have a whole bunch of people who are doing mischievous thing, and then there's Hell Pinhead right there, just like kind of like the crypt keeper of being like an ambiguous moral figure, while everybody's going to shit. And I like that. I think that I don't really have a problem with that, because the Hellraiser 5 through 8, despite I think in part 8 sucks, part 8's the only one, and part 8 is the only one that sucks out of the next 4 sequels. But we'll get to that in a few days. Um, but um, but see, these 4 sequels, Hellraiser 5 through 8, at least seem like they're trying. They don't seem like a hollow, thrown together piece of shit like Revelations, just to keep the rights to the name. And they didn't really put much effort into that one. It was just filmed in a weekend with like a 30,000, like some sort of $1,000 budget. It was horrible. But Hellraiser Inferno starts out with Craig Sheffer, which, if you're a big fan of like direct-to-video horror sequels, like I am, I have like a soft spot for direct-to-video horror sequels to theatrically released films. So we have this Craig Sheffer, which I believe that Craig Sheffer did a really great job in this film. I think that Craig Sheffer plays a really badass character. Like, he plays this fucking crooked ass cop, but this cop is actually not that bad of a guy, in all honesty. He cares for his wife. He shows that he legitimately cares for his wife, his child, and he cares for his coworker, played by Nicholas Totoro. Despite him being a seedy bastard who does few a few crooked things, overall, I don't really feel like he's a bad 100% bad person. He only major bad thing he does is cheat on his wife. But other than that, we get to meet up with him. He's crooked, but yet he's kind of intriguing, and I like that. So we meet up with his character. Then we meet up with then we get this like, I like that you have this engineer character. This engineer character, which is basically we realize that his therapist is the engineer, and the engineer has been playing with Craig Shepard's character, making him think that he killed a whole bunch of children, but in reality he didn't kill any children. It's just Pinhead, doing his Pinhead thing, torturing a crooked person, crooked person. But I like that after we get the story, we get to see all the people he has done wrong, his mom, his father, his the prostitute, his snitch ice cream dealer that he who gives him cocaine, his partner. We get to see all the people do wrong, give him some fucking whippings. Then after we get that, we get to see the real revelations that his I like Pinhead just being a fucking badass character here. He says your flesh is killing your spirit. Your flesh is killing your spirit. And I like that. I like that they had like a nice little. I like that little. I like where they're going with that plot idea. I like where they're going with that idea. I think it's a pretty clever idea that his flesh is slowly killing his spirit in this film. And we got a lot of crazy verging on crazy psychedelic scenes where he's dealing with some terrors, and I kind of like that, I like what they're doing with this idea. A lot of people who criticize this film criticize it as like an Angel Heart or Jacob's Ladder ripoff. I really don't see. Sure, there's some similarities, but I think that Hellraiser Inferno stands up on its own without being a so-called Jacob's Ladder ripoff or Angel Heart ripoff. I like the film. It's my favorite Hellraiser movie, actually. I think that the story's pretty cool, and the one thing cool about it's the fucking longest Hellraiser movie. It verges on like an hour and 40 minutes, and you can never go wrong with an hour and 40. Well, shit, that may be wrong because in the next Hellraiser movie, after Revelations or whenever that comes out, when it does come out, it's probably going to be, hopefully it doesn't go the Revelations route, but whatever, we'll probably discuss that. Hellraiser Inferno, I love it. I think that the story's pretty tight. I like, the various different plot elements that this film does. I think Craig Shepard, and all the cast members do a fucking terrific job. I like how Pinhead reveals himself. I think out of all the films, I think that this hits the right mark. Hits the right mark where Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth was a little bit too silly, was a little bit too silly and campy, and didn't take the, surreal, nightmare like things of that the Hellraiser franchise should be acquainted for. It's fun and all. I love Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth, but whereas that film, just it took the series from its dark, creepy, surreal roots and made it something a little bit more pliable to a fucking typical slasher film. Don't get me wrong, the Hellraiser movies are slasher films, but they're classier slasher films. Um, and I didn't like that. With Hellraiser Bloodline, and him being in space and all that shit. This one really, I think that if you remove 3 and 4, if you remove 3 and 4, and watch Hellraiser Inferno directly after parts 1 and 2, you have a fucking great time. You have a great time because Hellraiser Inferno just hits the right notes. You got a terrific plot, a new take on the Pinhead character, that's fitting. You have, and I like that it plays with your mind. It plays with your mind in a great way, where it's not like it's confusing or nonsensical. Where it plays with your mind, but it does it in a way that's respectful. It doesn't play with your mind and then say, "Hey, fix that up, bitch." It's really, really pretty clever, and I like its unique plot. I think that overall, it's just a great movie. I'm trying to think of something else other to say about it, but I fucking love this movie. Um, it's it's way better than the previous two films. And that goes out without saying, because this is my favorite Hellraiser movie. Um, ah, all in all, I can't really say anything more than this movie gets my deepest of recommendations. If you're a fan of like trippy, surreal horror movies that are like this is more like a crime noir. I think that's the right terms for it. It's more like a crime noir where it's the noir is really present. The story is just classy, sophisticated, and all in all, a great movie. And I can't really say anything else. Now let's talk about the Blu-ray release. Now, as you can see, I have it in a 4-film pack from Echo Bridge Home Entertainment, back when they had the Hellraiser movies and the Miramax titles. The Blu-ray picture quality is shoddy. It's shoddy in scenes. Like, some of the scenes look pretty horrendous. Like, has a terrible grain level structure to it. Some scenes look really good. Some scenes look really good. It really depends on where you're getting at. The disc menu there isn't really much to the disc menu other than it's like, just not that very good. I believe Hellraiser Inferno deserves a better treatment than what the set gave it. I think Hellraiser Bloodline, this one here, has gotten the proper treatment because I like Hellraiser Bloodline. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a decent movie. It has its problems, but I think that this release is fine for Hellraiser Bloodline. But Hellraiser Inferno deserves a better release. Yeah. All in all, I give Hellraiser Inferno I guess 9 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and I shall be back in a little less than 24 hours with day number 10's film review of my 4th annual 31 Days of Horror Film Reviews. And it's been a fun ride, and yeah, I hope that you've been liking these, and I hope that you supply this video with a like, a comment, and you subscribe to the channel to keep updated on my further adventures of my 4th annual 31 Days of Horror Film Reviews. And other than that, give my deepest of appreciation to Hellraiser Inferno, and yeah, also, strange thing, I saw Hellraiser Inferno, and then I saw the Green Inferno yesterday in the theaters. I didn't like the Green Inferno. I think the Green Inferno was kind of shitty. It's a film that isn't really worth your time. It's kind of like a cheesy film. It has a few good elements, like any film, even the most shittiest films have at least a few good elements to them, and that's something I can say a few good things. But overall, I do not recommend the Green Inferno, and I recommend Hellraiser Inferno. I think there's something more for me to say about this movie, but there isn't. Other than I fucking love it. And, yeah, I want to give my appreciation to it. Anyways, Hellraiser Hellseeker and Hellraiser, Hellworld will be reviewed later on in this month. And I hope that you enjoy. Sayonara, fuckers.